Hi, my name is Rachel Bernardino, and I'm going to be walking you through just a little bit about GLSEN and the Educator Check-ins we're doing this year. So to start off, to fully introduce myself, my name is Rachel Bernardino. I use they, them, their, or she, her, hers pronouns. I'm an AmeriCorps member serving as GLSEN Washington's Education Outreach Coordinator. We do invite folks to use pronouns, as you can't always tell what someone's pronouns are by their name or how they look, as well as the fact that some people don't use pronouns at all. So just one more time so you can hear and I can model it for you. My name is Rachel, and I use they, them, their, and she, her, hers pronouns. To get a little bit into what GLSEN is about, we do have our mission statement. So GLSEN, basically, the idea is that all kids will learn how to respect and accept all people, regardless of defining characteristics and personal identities and things. GLSEN is working on this through trainings, education, professional development, and support of educators and students. And GLSEN tends to focus on LGBTQ plus students as a whole, but really the work that we do is helping all students create a safer environment at school. One of the things that GLSEN has been working on is kind of an answer to the call of racial justice that's been put out, especially with current events in recent times. We are able to use an intersectional lens to kind of look at our work thanks to Kimberly Crenshaw, who coined the term, who coined the theory of intersectionality in 1989. You can see GLSEN tends to use this quote from Laverne Cox and this other one from Audre Lorde. Laverne Cox just talks about how existing as a Black transgender woman from working class, just not even just surviving but thriving, is a political act among those intersecting identities, as well as Audre Lorde's quote of the fact that there is no single issue struggle because we do not live single issue lives. No one is able to separate all their different identities and things like that. We all live in the intersection of our identities, and I think GLSEN has done a really good job kind of shifting focus and making sure that these intersections are something that are recognized and celebrated rather than something pushed to the side. One of the cool things is the 2019 School Climate Survey just came out, so we do have the most up-to-date data available. Unfortunately, this data is still reading as a majority of students were harassed or assaulted at school, a majority of LGBTQ students, a majority being 86%, as well as a majority of trans students, 84%, feeling unsafe at school because of their gender. So not only are these students feeling unsafe, being harassed and assaulted, but these discrimination tactics can really lead to personal and academic issues. We see folks who have experienced these to miss school more than their cisgender and heterosexual peers. It can lower students' GPA as well as self-esteem. The good news is that GLSEN has identified 4 basic things that kind of help schools develop a safer climate. These things are comprehensive anti-bullying and anti-discrimination policies, teacher and school staff who are supportive of LGBTQ plus students, Gender and Sexuality Alliance, or your GSAs, and LGBT inclusive in curriculum across subjects. So those are kind of the supports that GLSEN has seen mitigate some of these other factors that we're seeing. GLSEN Washington specifically offers a lot of these services locally. We do provide professional development for folks all the way from elementary to secondary ed, as well as some more focused trainings such as Changing the Game, which is a physical education focused professional development piece, as well as mental health and other sorts of trainings that we can offer. We also have a plethora of resources. I recommend hitting our website first. You can reach us at glesenwashington.org. This links to all of our other resources, including our Google Classroom, which we've been working to compile multiple resources, not only from GLSEN, but from other organizations and folks doing work with educators and with students. You can join this using any Gmail account. You may have to use your personal Gmail rather than your school Gmail, but no worries. You can also find GLSEN National's website, where they have lesson plans and toolkits and some of the other things on this list. And they also house all the research, all the national and state research in their website. I would also like to plug our social media channels. We are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and that's where you can keep the most minute-to-minute up-to-date with us. We also do provide direct support locally. We do GSA visits. These are looking a little more like virtual pop-ins than physical visits this year, but that's okay. We also are consulting with GSA advisors, educators, whoever. If you have questions, basically get in touch with us. We'd love to help you out. We do free 1-hour teaser trainings of all our professional developments. So these 1-hour sessions are just kind of a look into what they are. They're free. And then we do offer our professional development workshops in 3 and 6 hour intervals, as well as clock hours even for our 1-hour trainings. We are also getting ready to host our 2021 conference. It will be completely virtual this year, so we're hoping that makes it more accessible for folks. Save the date for March 27th, and we are going to continue getting out information as we plan. And then, of course, there are the Educator Check Ins, which is kind of what we're here talking about today. And this is really where we kind of go over just a little bit of a presentation on a topic and then move into discussion on that topic and or whatever else y'all need. These are for educators, so we want to make sure that we're answering your questions, getting to things that are interesting and necessary for you all. And we have been in contact with teachers across the state through meetings, through group sessions, things like that. And these are some of the challenges we've been seeing that folks are really struggling with a lot of similar things. In talking to students, we found that a lot of trans students are really struggling with virtual learning just based on the fact that depending on the software and platforms your school uses, they may be seeing their legal names and being misgendered potentially constantly, which is very difficult to deal with and something that we are definitely in contact with schools about. And then as far as like educators, we're definitely seeing the struggle of teaching into the void, that lack of participation, and especially if students have their cameras and microphones off and things like that, it can be really difficult to talk to what feels like no one all day. And a lot of folks are really struggling with that, as well as struggling about how they want to build community in these virtual spaces. So even teachers that were very successful in building safe and respectful communities in their classrooms are now, we're all trying to figure out how to do this online, us included here at GLSEN. So these are things that we've been noticing, trends that we're going to talk about that we want to help you all out with in future meetings. If you have topic ideas, activity recommendations, just plain old questions to ask, I really, really encourage you to reach out to us. You can either reach out to us at our general mail at glsenwa.org, or you can reach out to me personally at rachel@glsenwa.org. These meetings are for you all. We want to make sure they're relevant and focus on what you all want to talk about and focus on. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, please let us know. You can email us at any of these emails and we will get back to you. Thank you, and I hope to see you at a meeting soon.